Somebody take this. I didn't do nothing. My name is Michael Singleton. You have warrants. My name is, I got a traffic warrant. My name is Michael Singleton. I want you to please take this. They arrested me for wrong reasons.
No, why would y'all do that? He was standing still.
Oh my God, my name is Michael Singleton. My birthday's 12/21/71. I have back in Singleton, I have no warrant. I have a traffic warrant for $500.
That's fine. We're trying to investigate.
No, you said you have cocaine. I'm not a drug dealer. Man, I'm a shoot off, man. Fucking kill me. Hey, man, I didn't try to fight you. Why you chased me? I wasn't pulling away. They got me on tape. No, I wasn't.
Right here.
Dickhead, bro. They asked me to put my hands behind my back, but I couldn't even move after you electrocuted me. Sit down. You keep telling me to do like I can and stuff. Come on. Man, dude, I just got chased for nothing. Hey, man, somebody please have this on tape. That's all. Michael Singleton, Michael Singleton.
And this story has been brought to you by racism. Racism is accepted wherever true Americans are.
Perfect.
On behalf of the Black community, I would like to apologize to the parents of Austin Metcalf for making a hero out of the young man that killed your son. I apologize that there are so few fathers around and so few male figures around to teach the Black community about emotional discipline, about what's right from wrong, about emotional regulation, about not making a hero out of a thug and a criminal. I apologize on behalf of the Black community because they are the ones that are raising money for your son's killer. They are the ones that are funding this new lavish lifestyle that your son's killer is living. I apologize on behalf of the Black community because they are so confused about, again, what's right and what's wrong, that in some weird, twisted sense of racial solidarity, they would celebrate the young man that killed your child in cold blood. I apologize on behalf of the Black community because you don't deserve to see this. You deserve to be grieving your child. You deserve to be remembering your child. You deserve to be able to share stories about what an amazing human being and young man he was. But instead, you're subject to online mobs that support the killer of your child. You are subject to people that are raising money to support the killer of your child. You are subjected to people in the Black community that are making excuses for the killer of your child and making your child seem that he is somehow at fault for being stabbed to death. So for what you are seeing on social media, for what you will continue to see for the next few months, I apologize to you on behalf of the Black community because a lot of us are so bereft of empathy. A lot of us are so angry and hurt and bitter and damaged and trapped in cycles of pathology that we would make excuses for a young man that stabbed another young man to death. And we are so trapped in that pathology that we don't even know which way is up. I apologize on behalf of the Black community for their treatment towards your son's killer. And I can only hope that your child can rest in peace and that you can remember him as he was.
Who is this nigga? That's how I feel listening to this, man. Like,
I just want to say that this is very wild that he would decide to come out the blue and act as though that he is a 100% representative for everybody in the Black community. And he wants to speak on behalf. Like I said, I don't need you to speak on nothing. I've made my stance very clear directly when it has to do with this situation and everything that is pretty much involved at this moment in time. But for whatever reason, he feels that he could decide to, be the poster child directly for the black community, which is, again, to me, is 100% crazy. So what we're going to do here is just go over a few things that he decided to state in the video, and we're going to break those things down.
On behalf of the black community, I would like to apologize to the parents of Austin Metcalf for making a hero out of the young man that killed your son. I apologize that there are so few fathers around and so few male figures around to teach the black community about emotional discipline, about what's right from wrong, about emotional regulation.
It's crazy to know the fact that Carmelo Anthony literally has a photo with his whole family. He has himself, his mom, his father, his two little brothers, and his sister, and they all live in the same home. Everybody's married, all black, everything. And it's crazy that people still want to run with this narrative of that, the fathers aren't there, the fathers aren't present, the single black parent household, and the father's not there to teach this, and the father's not there to teach that. No, the father is 100% there. Also, adding to the fact that they are together strong for a good, I think, 15 to 17 years. So it would behoove him to decide to, which he's not going to do, to reach out and actually talk to the father to get his insight on specifically what it is that he taught his son. It's great to make all of these assumptions or these allegations or accusations, whatever you want to dress it up as. But you could literally go to the source. You're a big platform, millions of people that basically follow you. You got money behind you, but for whatever reason, you would rather just make a quick video because you know that it will garner views versus actually having a sit down with the father to try to understand it and get insight on what it is that he specifically taught his son. Crazy work though, but it is what it is.
Another one.
About not making a hero out of a thug and a criminal. I apologize on behalf of the black community because they are the ones that are raising money for your son's killer. They are the ones that are funding this new lavish lifestyle that your son's killer is living.
So it's a little bit weird for somebody to state that you want to call somebody's son a thug or some type of a criminal, but yet I'm looking at thugs and criminals right here. And both of these men had choices and decisions, and they decided upon themselves to take somebody's life, not because they had to 100% defend themselves, not because some two, people came directly upon them and they had no other choice. They decided to do what it is that they specifically wanted to do. George Zimmerman got a grand total of about 340K, not to mention the memorabilia that he was signing, right? Such as a bag of Skittles, such as him signing a Confederate flag, such as him signing a Arizona can, such as him selling the weapon of which he took a person's life with at auction for a nice large sum of money. Next person that we got is Darren Wilson. Darren Wilson was able to get about a good 400K. But they also stated that later on, Darren Wilson's fundraising efforts, in combination with others that were taking place during that time, gave him an excess amount of about $500,000+. Then you have Daniel Penny. Grand total wise, about $2.9 million, right? And that was by way of 59 donors, on top of the fact that he was endorsed by politicians such as Ron DeSantis and Matt Gaetz. So again, it's a little bit crazy to try to go out on a limb and to 100% try to vilify a young black male high schooler coming from a two-parent household. He's not coming from the hardened streets of whatnot or whatever. Nah, this is a suburban kid who was simply in an altercation with two individuals who are literally towering directly over him and who also both clearly outweigh him. Just even one by themselves outweigh him. One, you have the young black male who was 130, and then you have the two brothers going from, well, at least the main one, Austin McCaff, he was what said to be in between 225 all the way upwards to potentially 245, especially at the height that he is. And then you have his brother, because both of them play football. But like I said before, people don't want to list all of the things directly there. They want to try to make this seem like it was some type of even type of thing, like everybody was the same weight. They weren't. But here we are.
Another one.
I apologize on behalf of the black community because they are so confused about, again, what's right and what's wrong, that in some weird, twisted sense of racial solidarity, they would celebrate the young man that killed your child in cold blood. I apologize on behalf of the black community because you don't deserve to see this. You deserve to be grieving your child.
You know, every parent does deserve the right to be able to just sit there and grieve over the loss of their child, no matter who it is, right? But the problem that I have is that he never has this energy whenever it was that black kids would get their lives taken. Black people would have family members who are proven to be 100% innocent in how it is that their life was taken. And they would not be able to grieve in peace. They had to deal with all the social media. They had to deal with Fox News, MSNBC, any type of mainstream media. And they specifically had to deal with a lot of black conservatives who always wanted to put their 2 cents in whenever it is that somebody black lost their life to police. They would always put the blame directly on the victim, no matter how young, no matter how innocent, no matter how unarmed the person directly was, no matter how the camera footage from the cops showed that, hey, the cops were 100% in the wrong in this instance. They would still find a way to blame the black community. But yet, here we are. It's the most craziest thing. But the main thing that I want to bring up here is the fact that he states that the parents should be able to grieve directly in peace. But I wonder if he would have the exact same wording for this white man here.
You are part of the fucking problem, my friend. You're trying to create more race divide than bridging the gap. I do not condone anything you do. You do not have any fucking...
That's called white guilt.
No, let it go. Let me finish. I'm giving you time. You took my son's face off of the website. I am not associated with you.
You're creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness, sir. You are creating more Austin Metcalfs with your weakness.
You are being weak. I gotta be honest with you about that, sir.
You're being weak. Condemn your son's killer and the culture that caused it.
Hey, Jeff.
That's the problem. You've been submitted.
Hold on, hey, Jeff.
You've been submitted.
I'll handle it from here.
You've been submitted, sir.
So I wonder if this black conservative would have any words, any type of mouth for that white man that decided to go at a grieving father. Again, he said that the parents should be allowed to grieve, right? That they should just have the air to just go over certain things. But that's not what I was able to hear. I heard a white man tell another white man that you are weak, that you are enabling more instances of how your son is no longer here to continuously happen because you're not agreeing specifically with the type of rhetoric that another white man wants to try to put directly out there by using the name of said son, of said individual who is no longer here, no longer present. I just wonder if this black conservative male would ever have that exact same energy and would like to sit up there and say that he apologizes as a black man on behalf of the white community. I wonder if he would do that. Probably won't, but one can dream, I guess, right?
Another one.
You deserve to be remembering your child. You deserve to be able to share stories about what an amazing human being and young man he was. But instead, you're subject to online mobs that support the killer of your child. You are subject to people that are raising money to support the killer of your child. You are subjected to people in the Black community that are making excuses for the killer of your child and making your child seem that he is somehow at fault for being stabbed to death. So for what you are seeing on social media, for what you will continue to see for the next few months, I apologize to you on behalf of the Black community, because a lot of us are so bereft of empathy. A lot of us are so angry and hurt and bitter and damaged and trapped in cycles of pathology that we would make excuses for a young man that stabbed another young man to death. And we are so trapped in that pathology that we don't even know which way is up. I apologize on behalf of the Black community for their treatment towards your son's killer. And I can only hope that your child can rest in peace and that you can remember him as he was.
Another one.
I also want to point this out that during the time that the parents had to relocate and move due to safety concerns and reasons because of threats that they were receiving towards their home or their lives or their kids, they decided to relocate. None of the money that they had on the GoFundMe was used for that relocation. They did that before they were able to see a dime or even touch the funds for the Go Give Send Go. TMZ even put an article directly out there detailing that. Even at the press conference where the mother was speaking, she specifically stated that they weren't able to touch the money as of yet, maybe after, said press conference or whatnot or whatever. But other than that, no, they weren't able to use that for whatever you thought that they were using it for. Like I said before, the dangerousness of the insinuations that people want to try to use online in order to try and give this fake type of support is drastically crazy. And it undermines the severity and the seriousness of the situation when you want to try and tell people that, oh yeah, these Blacks directly out here, this is how they're profiting, and because they're profiting, now they're able to move into this nice lavish home and da da da, and this is because of the crime that they set up there, and that's not how that worked. That's not how that worked at all, and it's not. But that's not going to sell the tickets. That's not going to get you the eyes or the attention. Again, this is why he decided to speak on the situation, because more than likely, platform-wise, nobody was probably paying attention to him. He probably hasn't been doing anything out there for a very long time. Realistically, that's really getting any type of notoriety or notice. There was at a moment in time that he was out there in the spotlight. At this moment in time, he's not. So again, that should tell you exactly what time it is.
Another one.
And last but not least, I just wanted to showcase this. I'm probably going to add a video in between this, depending on what I happen to say to trigger that to take place. But as you can clearly see, Black gay conservative targeted with homophobic slurs at right-wing conference. So again, it's a little bit weird, right? These are his people. This is his flock. But yet, you want to state that, people are homophobic or potentially maybe racist. That's a little bit weird to me. I don't specifically understand it, but yet I do understand, I guess.
Yes, next one says love gay sex.
No, he doesn't.
And these white supremacists absolutely do exist in this party. We all saw me face them from face to face. I'm looking at soulless, dead-eyed white supremacists that, by the way, I felt that these people could have bashed my brains in.
So you're a quote unquote free thinker, and you decided that it was the most high IQ thing for you to do as a black, gay, Republican, conservative free thinker, whatever you want to word it as. You thought that it was very great of you to go inside of a place or an area where there's pretty much none of you. You are the only representative. And again, you have nobody to defend you. You have no type of backup. That I want people to understand that doesn't 100% shows strength. That shows a bit of stupidity, that you would go directly into a bear's den and you have literally honey and salmon directly on you. Like, what are you doing? What specifically are you doing? And then you allow them to sit up there and call you all types of names. And then you do an interview on mainstream media news, and you're talking about racism and white supremacy is amongst your part. No, 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 sir. No, no, no. I'm not trying to hear any black conservative talk about anybody being homophobic, being a part of the Republican Party, being racist or any type of supremacy. I'm not trying to hear none of that, because that doesn't exist, because those people don't focus on sexuality and they don't focus on color. So what are you talking about? You can't be a victim and you're a part of the quote unquote right or the winning party. There are no victims over there. So I'm a little bit confused on how specifically does this work. At one moment, you want to happen to say that you're a free thinker and that you're just above color and all these other types of things. But then when something happens and everything hits the fan, now you want to resort to, oh, I'm a black gay conservative, and I got some white counterparts directly in the Republican Party who are supremacist in nature and racist. No, 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 no. Which one is it? Which one is it? Are you going to be Lois Lane, or are you going to be Wonder Woman? Which one is it? Because you can't be both. Which one is it? You can't be both. You can't be both. Which one is it going to be? Because again, like I said before, I'm looking at everything that I'm able to see, and I'm also looking at the comments directly from his recent thread on X, and it's crazy. And this is what I happen to say, just like conservatives will say when it deals with the black community, that, hey, the black community, you guys cause us XYZ, all this other type of stuff, right? And whenever anything happens to black conservatives, I'm like, well, you asked for it, right? Isn't that the same rhetoric that y'all use towards women who dress a certain type of way? When you sit up there and tell them that they asked for it, you sit up there and tell them that they're deserving of it, and all these, right? So whenever those situations come up where you are a black gay conservative and you're amongst your group of people directly there and things happen, obviously you deserve it. Obviously you wanted it to happen. You like for these things to happen. You are asking for it, right? Like I said, it's crazy. They're looking at these comments where you're making these simple white talking points. Now, again, you're smart enough to know that if you want the attention of certain people, that you have to draw eyes, right? So you're going to do that psychological warfare where you're going to say the white talking points while also having a black face directly at the same time. Two birds, one stone. But then you're going to add a third one directly in there where you're using those words in order to bolster a type of likes or validation or appreciation and all of these other types of things, so that you can get your white comrades on your side, because you know that if you say certain things to black people, that black people are going to do what? Respond directly back, because you're being disrespectful. You're saying things that don't need to be said at all. But that's the game. This is the way that you just so happen to make your money. This is again why you have, blue checks, because we got analytics and different things of that nature, and you get paid directly for engagement. So what is more engaging than happening to talk about black people in a certain type of way by way of a story? And then on top of that, it got from one point where you wanted to vilify and criminalize and make everybody in the black community supervillains. And then at the very last part, you wanted to say that this young man was or had an issue with another young man. It's real funny how magically the color did not exist in the last part of that statement when the color was through the whole statement. But yet this is the same party that say that they themselves do not see color, and it's only the Democratic Party, it's only the liberals who are really focused on color, really focused on this social construct. Like I said before, the types of games that they play directly online in front of people's faces. And this is him clearly showing people that he's smart enough to understand that those who are out there that follow him, he can say whatever it is that he wants to sit up there and do, and he's going to get that necessary attention. He's going to draw those types of eyes. And especially for a lot of the white folks out there, he knows that he automatically got them caught because he can sit up there and play the game from 2 to 3 different sides. He's thinking 6 to 10 to 15 chess moves ahead of the other white individuals who are directly out there listening to his commentary, watching his social media, looking at his responses. Like I said, it's crazy work. It's crazy work. But at the end of the day, like I keep trying to tell people, a price has to be paid for whatever it is that people decide to do, especially when it deals with negativity. You have to end up giving something up in order to keep all of this going. And the main thing that I happen to ask to a lot of people, is it really worth it at the end of the day? Do the ends justify the means? But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that's stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.